Fusion. The seventh ray will lead to fusion and synthesis, for its energy is of the type which blends spirit and matter. When the great breath is projected, it is called the divine breath, and is regarded as the breathing of the unknowable deity, the one existence, which breathes out a thought, as it were, which becomes the cosmos. So also is it when the divine breath is inspired again, the universe disappears into the bosom of the Great Mother, who then sleeps wrapped in her invisible robes. The Pleiades, especially Alcyone, are the focus through which this divine breath works during the period of universal manifestation. The Pleiades are connected with sound and other mystic principles in nature, including the periodical renovations of the earth, with regard to its continents, thus with the various successive root races. The Pleiades, especially Alcyone, are the central point that our manifested universe revolves around. In The Secret Doctrine, Volume 1, Key 43, it is said that the appearance and disappearance of the universe are pictured as an outbreathing and inbreathing of the great breath, which is eternal, and which, being motion, is one of the three aspects of the absolute, abstract space and duration being the other two. Space, time are changed by the cycles of divine breath. Breath symbolizes not only relationship with the physical environment but also the subtle environment of energies and forces. The cycle of the breath governs all life, and as we pattern our lives thereby, we become more effective workers. At the point where the tide of the in-breath turns to become the out-breath, an alchemical reaction takes place between the outer and inner environments, and the resulting combination permeates the exhaled breath. Those who understand this cycle work purposefully and rhythmically with the breathing process. Working with the breath can cause a rising of the Kundalini energy, sometimes known as the serpent power. This energy normally lies dormant in the center at the base of the spine until such time as it awakens naturally, through a life of discipline, meditation, study and service. But unfortunately, in our world, people crave stimulation, and yet they do not realize that the unleashing of this tremendous energy can have dire consequences, leading to what is known as overstimulation. The problem is that, once these forces have been unleashed, it is very difficult to bring them back under control. The sixth ray activity led to the formation of bands of disciples, working in groups but not in close relation, and subject to internal dissension, based on personality reactions. The seventh ray will lead to fusion and synthesis, for its energy is of the type which blends spirit and matter. It's said that the new age of the seventh ray and air sign will see the birth of a new form of yoga, Agni Yoga, the yoga of fire, the process of the conscious control of the inner and outer fires. Its keynotes are synthesis and universality arrived at through identification with the whole, with life itself. Hence its connection with the breath, the air and crystals. Crystals are light entrapped as potential energy within a gravitational universe. The crystals of our etheric bodies can be reprogrammed, activated by alignments, and become radioactive of conscious light. As our Earth/solar system transits through the photon belt over next 2,000 years, we are here to birth Earth into its next cycle, a new beginning for all humanity. We have a choice to awaken and embrace love as conscious co-creators here on Earth, and to release the pain of separation and fear. Each and every one of us holds the key to the quantum shift of Earth, and be active participants in this shift individually and collectively. The main solar body, our visible sun, is undergoing an evolution in that its magnetic pole is reversing, which is further altering its solar ray transmissions to Earth and to other planets. This change also alters the function of the constellation Ursa Major, in which its 7 main stars are sequentially merging forces with their counterpart, the 7 sister stars in the Pleiades. Humanity is shifting from the limited spectrum of visible light into the invisible spectrum of God's holy light. And we are going through a physical evolution and a spiritual evolution in conjunction with this. During what is known as the solar cycle, the magnetic field of the Sun has reversed every 11 years over the past centuries. This flip, where the south magnetic pole switches to north and vice versa, occurs during the peak of each solar cycle and originates from a process called a dynamo, regeneration. All matter consists of light, all matter is growing, all matter is evolving, and all matter is living. Light solidifies into crystal formation of matter. All crystallization is within itself a dimension, it is the first appearance of form. Magnetic fields are generated by a dynamo, which involves the rotation of the star as well as convection and the rising and falling of hot gas in the star's interior. When the thinking mind of man creates a universe of imbalance through his intent or thoughts, he captures the free-flowing kinetic energy into potential energy, creating a crystal. The first seeding of Lemuria took place many hundreds of thousands of years ago in conscious thought forms. The first souls to physically birth here on Earth, the Lemurian community, occurred approximately 100,000 years ago. These souls chose to come to Earth to work consciously with the evolution of our Earth, but also to consciously work with the last 4 grand cycles of time, yugas, of our solar system's 26,000-year rotation around the central sun Alcyone of the Pleiades, the brightest star in the Pleiades constellation. Therefore, these Pleiadian souls then birthed through into Earth's atmosphere to experience their soul's expression, 5-dimensional frequencies, through the astral gateway of their hearts, 4-dimensional frequencies, within a physical body, 3-dimensional frequencies. In the early years of Lemuria, these first seed souls rarely inhabited a physical body, as the physical body was unable to contain the full expanse of 5D frequencies. Over thousands of years, the Lemurian beings worked with the crystal ley lines and portals of the earth to assist in anchoring their body of light to the earth in order to support their physical 3D bodies to hold 5D light. Gradually, the Lemurian beings' physical bodies appeared more in form than of light, though the physical body often had a slight transparency to its appearance. The Lemurians understood their purpose was to birth as a 5D soul expression here on Earth, called the soul star, project out a holographic image of the soul, collectively referred to as the crystalline matrix, and ground their crystalline matrix and hence physical 3D body to Earth, the furthest most projection of the holographic crystalline matrix. In anchoring their 5D soul expression to physical 1D Earth, the Lemurians were able to bring these higher light octave frequencies down through the galactic core, through Sirius, Pleiades and into their soul, and run these energies down through their energetic/physical bodies, Hara line, and anchor these into Earth. The aim was to be a divine conduit of light energy into Earth's crystal grid, in order to be an active part of the conscious evolution of our planet. Crystal healing temples were established, and crystal healing embodied the use of sound, color, symbols and sacred geometric frequencies in mastery of the elements of creation. However, in the latter years of Atlantis, approx 11,000 to 13,000 years ago, greed, ego and power had corrupted the minds/hearts of much of the Atlantean civilization, and the mastery of the divine emanations of creation had now fell into the need for control and power. The Lemurians had a vision of what was to happen to Earth in the years ahead. They recorded all their teachings/wisdoms within the crystalline grid of Earth, and in particular in Lemurian seed crystals, and scattered these physically and etherically around the planet. These Lemurian seed crystals recorded the sacred history of our planet, and a conscious understanding of how we can work with the Earth's grid as we transit into the Golden Age and release the pain of our history within the heart/mind/DNA of humanity. Magnetic energy is polar, crystalline energy is nonpolar, or 0 point. The shift to 0 point occurs from the 5th to the 12th dimension. So the ascension is the expansion of the Earth from the magnetic polarity of the first 3 dimensions to the 0 point fields of the higher dimensions, which are crystalline, and it takes place in the age of 7th ray manifestation, and the period of passing through the magnetic reversal of Sun's rotation via Alcyone at the point of the photon belt. The magnetic field began a steady decline 2,000 years ago, with the birth of Christ. But it has recently been making a much more rapid descent toward 0 point, a place where one creation collapses and another begins. The Greek word for Sunday means resurrection. And Easter Sunday is a celebration of the rebirth of the Christ. As above, so below, as below, so above. On earth today, we find many Lemurians have returned into a physical body walking the earth, to consciously anchor light and to shift earth into this next level of evolution. Plasma is not generally considered to be a solid. However, particles when mixed with plasma, can create solid states of plasmic infused matter. This is what is happening through the expansion of consciousness, within the ascending human bodies on the earth. With holographic kinetics, man's effects, which are locked within crystals within the body, can be accessed. As the spirit of man is sent into internal hyperspace back to relive the cause of that effect to where light is brought back from its slowed down rotating speed of creating solidity to its harmonic rotating speed, the 9/10 of the speed of light relived. Then further steps in the rotational speed are taken, whereupon the effect simply disappears out of this reality altogether. Plasmas may be propagated into solid matter through applied electromagnetic forces of heat and energy that are created by the human body's natural bio-spiritual function. The human body is a natural resonator that interacts and responds to harmonic oscillations or vibrating systems of energy in the environment. Essentially, what this means is that the human body, when in its natural state, is able to stay in balance and harmonize the field. If the body is given access to an abundant supply of life force energy, it will begin to automatically heal itself. This means we must do all we can to return to our most authentic and natural state of being, through holding meditative states of inner stillness every day. Our emotional body is linked magnetically to the earth. So humanity is now learning how to dispel all beliefs and behaviors that don't fit into the new paradigm. 0 point is the breaking point beyond which the insanity of the old timeline will no longer be able to survive. Scientists at the School of Nuclear Engineering in Purdue University have recently discovered that our sun is now changing this rate of decay. This is indicative of the transition period we are currently in, where the structure of a diamond is retained if it is placed in a fire, a log of wood will burn down. Something that doesn't really interact with anything is changing something that can't be changed, Dr. Jeremiah Jenkins. So all of our carbon-based cells must be transformed into a crystalline formation in order for us to withstand the tremendous amount of light that will soon be streaming into the planet. Our emotional body is linked magnetically to the earth. Our obligation to survive and flourish is owed, not just to ourselves, but also to that cosmos, ancient and vast, from which we spring. Dr. Carl Sagan.